Social Justice Goblin. Welcome to the backyard after another hectic, stressful day of hard work. So, I am going to sit down and relax to my new book I got off Amazon. Jim Cornette, you could sell these books on your website too, and I would buy them because you don't have a great book selection. But you know the author and you can get a deal. Maybe sell 5 of these, keep 5 in stock of each of these, and see how it goes. You know, you might make some money. And while you're at it, make a t-shirt that says, My Dog Pockets. Seriously. I want a shirt that says My Dog Pockets in 4X. Make it happen. Alright. Now that I've done giving my Jim Cornette, because Cornette Collectibles is the place to go for your discretionary wrestling spending needs. But I'm running out of things to buy from him, so I'm trying to give him suggestions. And, you know, and he recommended this book to me in in the Pins book, which is an incredible book. You gotta read it. So anyways, today we got, let's get the tinfoil out. Nice and tinfoily. Okay, we're good and tinfoily. Let me out of my straitjacket. Okay. So we're going down conspiracy road WWE style. And I know everyone here's going, so what? What are you talking about? There's tons of WWE, you know, conspiracy theories out there. You know, like the fact that they actually write the Twitter, you know, stuff. I just saw a video on it. But anyways, I was watching a whole bunch of different sources, and I noticed something. So Crown Jewel is happening, and this video will be out after Crown Jewel, is happening on October 31st in Saudi Arabia, and it looks like an epic card. They've got like, for the old fans, because you gotta understand the Saudi fans, they're probably like Dutch fans were. You know, we grew up with WWE when we were in our teens to our early 20s. We got some WWE programming, but not much. And we might have gotten the magazines, and some WCW programming may have snuck its way in over there too through the satellite dishes and stuff, because, you know, they have all these satellite dishy things, and so, you know, they somehow probably found it. But in all honesty, Saudi Arabians, they love professional wrestling. It's like, it's human nature almost. If you can suspend your disbelief and think it's a real fight, it's great. Because it's not a real fight, thank God. But they love the high flantics or whatever. I mean, because they're really pulling on 3 stramps for this one. They're pulling on the nostalgic 80s, 90s fans, late 80s, 90s fans like me, with the Hogan vs. Flair and the whole team there, and, you know, it's Hogan vs. Flair. That gets the older guys in to bring their kids in, you know, their teenage sons and stuff, and kind of spread the generations. And number 2, they're going to have the boxer fight. Okay, boxer fights are a tradition in wrestling that have gone back. As long as I can remember, they're always terrible. Anytime they bring in a celebrity, it's always terrible. It's just no. Shaving Donald Trump, shaving Vince's hair, where we're going to get with this in a minute. This is where this is going to get fun. Because now we're really getting into... Anyways, they're going to have a fight, and then they have a main storyline that's going to resolve and then build on a storyline so that it gets them watching SmackDown or Raw. Standard, you know, oh yeah, that was cool. I'll go watch Raw now. And buy my t-shirts and, you know, buy my wrestling apparel, because wrestling's big, obviously, in Saudi Arabia. I mean, they actually tanked a Crown Royal, supposedly, so that they could get out of the contract. WWE could get out of the contract, because here's the whole beauty of this whole thing. So when WWE signed up to do the whole Crown Royal with Saudi Arabia, they just thought, you know, we're going to put a wrestling show in Saudi Arabia. What's the big deal? Well, then all of a sudden, John Oliver decided to come popping over into their backyard and explain some things to them about doing business with the Saudis and their lack thereof of a human rights record. Yeah, Well, this is where this conspiracy just keeps going weirder. So, have you noticed Linda McMahon and the WWF have always been kind of like this bastion of republicanism? You know, they had a big, we helped the troops, blah 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 blah, during the war, during the Iraq War, and in parts of Afghanistan. You know, all the wrestlers would go out and see the troops and do a lot of USO stuff, and they promote the heck out of it and show rah 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 America America. You know, Hogan, rah rah America flag. You know, but notice how Linda McMahon has ran for office twice now and failed both times. And then she finally, under the Trump administration, got a job at Small Business Administration. So she had political power finally. I'm always like, oh, I guess Linda just wanted political power. So, you know, knowing Trump, because Trump's in the Hall of Fame. Seriously. Our President of the United States of America is in the WWE Wrestling Hall of Fame. And Jim Cornette is not. I rest my case on why the WWE Hall of Fame is biased. Because Jim should be in there. Just saying. He's my man. And I want a shirt, My Dog Pockets. So this is where it gets interesting. So Linda started working for Trump on the Small Business Rate. No scandals. But then she, like, left. Like, pretty much everyone does with Trump after a while. They either grow tired of his antics, or they just gotta put some distance. And so she's now working on his campaign. Okay, so Linda has aspirations of political power, because she's hedging her bets. If Trump gets reelected, then, you know, she gotta play nice with him. If he doesn't get reelected, well, I think she's got a Trump card. See how I said that too? Alright. So, to make this all conspiracy theory go really over the top, because Saudi Arabians love professional wrestling, and here's the whole thing that wrestling, what America does, and it does really well, it exports its culture, and its culture of freedom through its pop culture products. Guess what's a pop culture product in Saudi Arabia right now? You see where this is going? WWE wrestling. It's huge in Saudi pop culture. Obviously, if they're putting special pay-per-views on just in Riyadh, because they're putting on top tier show. I mean, they're putting on a top tier show here. This time they're not playing around. So, in one of those epic moments of famous wrestling stories, the time Linda McMahon legitimized the wrestling business by being the bastion of freedom of America in Saudi Arabia and brought civil rights to, or brought human rights to Saudi Arabia. See where I'm going with this? Basically what I'm trying to say is that WWE might actually bring American values of freedom, of human rights, of all the great things that America brings to this world as a democracy to Saudi Arabia through professional wrestling, through Linda McMahon and Vince McMahon, through their little entree with Crown Royale as their little bastion, our little hope. Now that we're losing the Middle East, because the Russians are taking the Middle East, it's done. It's set in stone. By the time this video is all, it's old news. And I'll be too busy reading my Dutch Mantel book to care about that. So anyways, it's The World According to Dutch. You can get it on Amazon. Jim Cornette. Get some of these in your store, please. Just saying. 5 of each. And I can order like 1 or 2 and like buy some off you. You know, maybe expand your book collection. You know, sell other people's books. Like Amazon does. Because you could have had this here faster than Amazon had it. You ship faster. For these books. They have to custom print them and everything. So, yeah. And that's maybe why you can't sell them, because they're, you know, the custom printing and, you know. Actually, I don't know if this is custom printed. Yeah, this looks custom printed. Yeah. Yeah. This doesn't look... I mean, this looks like it's a Mark James production. Yeah, published by Western Kino through CreateSpace. Yeah, it's a self-published book. But Jim, you know the author of these books. But it's a good book. It's a good read. I mean, Dutchman Tell Stories. All right. Anyways, so to finish up my thought as I rambled off on a subtopic like I always do in my videos. Yeah. We could be looking at a wrestling story where wrestling brought freedom and human rights to Saudi Arabia. Okay, Tin Pot time! Time to put the straight jacket back on because this is total cuckoo land, but hey, you know, stranger things have happened and this would make for a great conspiracy. The Linda McMahon is building power through pop culture.